Ontario's vaccine passport has only been in place for a few days, but anecdotally, it seems like it's causing a whole lot more trouble than it's worth. A divisive project that we're soon going to be asking ourselves, what on earth was the point of all of this? Now, obviously, other provinces in Canada have a passport, and other jurisdictions across the Western world have introduced this as well. I'm going to focus my comments on what's going on in Ontario because that's where I'm hearing the most number of reports on the ground. First of all, one question that's really interesting is the number of people who are choosing to opt out of it, either because they are not vaccinated or because they are vaccinated, but they just don't support this happening in society, this level of division. I've heard from regular folks saying, I'm just not doing this stuff. I'm not going to the restaurants. I'm not going to the movies while they're doing this show me your papers thing. I don't support society devolving into that situation. I've actually heard from 2 hospital doctors who work on the front lines, who treat COVID patients, who certainly support doing everything possible to stop people from having serious outcomes with this illness. And these doctors also administer vaccines. They told me they're not going to restaurants or going to the movies or what have you because they are opting out of it. They are not supporting the passport on issues of principle and issues of equity and fairness as they explain it. You go, wow, if you're hearing that from people in the healthcare profession, I mean, what are the views in broader society? I really hope that those people, at least who said, yes, we need a vaccine passport, that's what I need in place to quote unquote feel safe. I kind of want to say, okay, you've got it. Are you at least out and about living your lives now? Or is this just another excuse, another kind of barrier that you put in place for yourself psychologically to not learn to live with COVID, as many chief medical officers of health throughout Canada have now been saying we must do? So that's one concern. Another concern is just all the anecdotes. Some of them are going viral as videos that we're seeing of people being denied service. I saw a video of an old lady who was kicked out of McDonald's. She said, I am vaccinated, but I don't have the paperwork, or I don't have the right iPhone. Come on, can I stay? No, out you go. Hearing lots of stories and reports of that. I heard from one parent whose children were kicked out of McDonald's for not being vaccinated, not showing their paperwork, lots of odd stories like that. I'm also hearing stories about the vaccine passport not being enforced in many locations. People saying, well, I went to my gym, they didn't ask for it. People telling me they went to a restaurant and the issue just wasn't brought up. Now, I am not saying that to rat them out and say, we must have stricter enforcement and so forth, but it's just kind of funny that those people who passionately said, we need these passports in place, well, now we're seeing that, look, it's just not actually going to be enforced by many places. I also wonder to what degree is it that neighborhoods where people are much more inclined to be COVID busybodies in terms of really stressing out about this stuff, will those neighborhoods, will those customers, will those businesses feel the pressure from their customers to enforce the passport, whereas other neighborhoods where people are less sort of COVID busybodies, are those places going to be less inclined to enforce it? And we're going to see all of that happen. I'm sure we're going to see drama where certain media outlets want to name and shame places that are not enforcing the rules. It's going to be a mess. There's also these rather troubling headlines about how a number of hospitals, we got the numbers on the record for Windsor Hospital and Kingston Hospital, that they've let go well over 100 employees over the vaccine rules. You go, whoa, hold on a second. I thought the point of the vaccine passport, whether you support it or not, was okay, we can't have another lockdown, we can't have hospitals at capacity. This is going to help us avoid that situation. And yet now we see these vaccine rules are actually causing problems with hospital staffing, that the vaccine rules may in fact create the next hospital crisis. So bottom line, we're only a few days into this and things already seem to be a bit of a mess, lots of inconsistencies, and you've got to ask, and you got to ask this to people who support the passport the most, is this worth all of the trouble?